Welcome back to Real Moves for Real Life. My name is Lisa, and I'm here today with my sidekick, Mr. Indiana Bones, otherwise known as Harrison. And he is going to help support us go through just a little bit of detail about the anatomy of our center. So if you want to take a quick look at him, he's got a set of 12 ribs. They circle his whole body, so all the way around a 360-degree circle. He's got some floating ribs, and he also has ribs that are attached to his breastbone. So this is part of our center. If we look further down, the bottom of our center would be considered our pelvis. So we have two little shelves here that hold space between the ribs and the pelvis. And of course, right down the middle is our beautiful long spine that is also part of, if not the main mover in all of the actions through our middle. So if you think about it, we've got a rib cage on top, a pelvis on the bottom, and a long spine right down the center. And so we're going to incorporate some movements in these areas to help soften through the middle, which then can result in more ease in our center, which can also help reduce our pain. So let's get started. Let's get Harrison on his perch. He will supervise me as we do our movements here on the mat. So what you would maybe want to have is something comfortable to lie on. And then also if you could grab a towel, just a beach towel, or even if you had something like a felt pad. This is a really nice tool to have that gives us a little bit of a softer texture and landing spot when we use it. Now, some of us may also have foam rollers. They tend to be a bit too hard for this type of practice, but just keep in mind that you might see something where you think a foam roller might work. I caution you because it is a little bit too firm. So we've got our beach towel and or our felt pad, and we will use those in just a second. So to begin, let's lay down on our backs just to sort of orient yourself. You can find your low back connecting to the floor. Let's straighten our legs out long. Heels of the feet are just gently pressing into the ground. You can take your hands now and just place them right onto the low belly. So that is the lower quadrant of this whole center that we have. I encourage you to now drop the elbows down as well so that they have a little bit of support on the floor. So here is our baseline. We're just checking in, seeing how things feel, particularly sort of through this quadrant of our center. From here, take your left foot and begin to walk it to the left side of your mat. The right foot likes to follow, almost like a little puppy dog, following along as we drop our feet off to the left side of the mat. Now, for some people, they may want to cross the right ankle over the left ankle. I'm choosing not to do that today for myself, but you're welcome to try that. Hands still sort of on this lower belly, kind of right at the top of the pelvis. Notice if your pelvis wanted to shift as well. See if you can leave the movement just in the legs so that the pelvis is still exactly where it was when we were lying straight. So just settle here for a second and pause. And for some of us, this can be quite a sensation all the way down the right thigh, sort of the right side body. Now, some of us may find that you want a little bit more. So this is where we'll add the rib cage and the shoulder girdle. We'll begin to move the torso over to the side. So shimmying the left shoulder to the edge of the left mat. The arms can remain on the pelvis and lower belly just to feel. And what you might notice is there's more of an arc here through the side of my body. Some of you may also want to take the arms up and overhead, reaching the arms also to the left while keeping the pelvis really grounded onto the floor. Your right hand may grab a hold of the left just as an anchor point as we arc ourselves over, so much like a crescent moon shape. We've rounded to the side. And then I invite you just to sort of breathe into the sensations that you feel on the whole right side of your body. Nice. And then we'll take the arms back first, then the torso, and then the legs. We'll hit our reset button and land here once more, just taking that pause and a break. And then we'll send the right foot over to the right side of the mat, again, keeping the pelvis situated in and about the same spot. So it's just the legs that have moved over. Again, left ankle could be crossed over top of right. This may be enough. You might feel a fair amount of sensation down the left side of the body this time. If you'd like to go a little further, then you can start squirming over, there's the technical word, squirming over the torso to the right. Arms may reach up overhead, and maybe the left hand catches the right wrist. Coming over, making this large side body stretch through all of the left ribs, the left hip, and down the left leg. Breathe into that space and try it again. Find ease. Taking the position that is most suitable for yours. I can almost guarantee it's not the same as mine. So definitely take this position as you see fit. Beautiful. We'll release the arms. We'll take the torso back to the center. Let the legs walk back underneath us and just take a little small pause here. Hands can come to low belly or on top of the pelvis here. Just do a little check-in and see how the body feels now. Now, if you can grab your beach towel, or if you do have a foam roll or foam pad, it's time to grab them. So we're going to make a fancy hotel roll with our towel. So we'll roll it up so that we have this nice circular position here. So got that. And if you do have the foam pad, you can equally roll it up. And in terms of what I'd like to show you today, the foam pad has a bit more contrast in color, so I'm going to use it for myself so that you can see it in relationship to the red mat and my blue shirt. So I'm going to place my roll down. It could very well have been my towel. Here would also be what I would use. And I'll bring myself right at the top of my hip here. I can feel the bony part of the pelvis. Remember, Harrison's base down here, that's what we're looking for. We're going to take that rolled towel or rolled foam mat and place it underneath the torso. You can stay propped on your forearm here for just a second. Knees are comfortably bent, hips are comfortably bent, and feet can relax down by the bottom of your mat. Now, we'll slowly let ourselves lower onto the outside of the shoulder. I encourage you to actually take the hand of that bottom arm and cradle it under your head so you have a little bit of support. Some of you may actually appreciate having a pillow, a throw pillow, just to support the head, just so that it doesn't have to be so well supported by this bottom arm. So from here, taking that top arm and just letting it rest on the side. So you'll feel a gentle pressure into your side body. And I invite you just to breathe into your towel or your rolled up foam pad. Taking some breaths to notice the sensation that you feel. Again, this is what may look like you want a foam roller here, but it is really quite too firm. So we need something a little softer to hold us here. Nicely done. Bringing our top arm down, just gently press, and no need to rush to get up. I would almost go in segments here. First coming back to the forearm and the hand, pausing here. It's quite a dramatic sort of arc one way to then arc back up, and then go ahead and lift yourself up. So just take a little moment to hit that reset button. Again, we'll come down onto our backs, lower down, and just notice what you notice here as you lay back onto the floor. Hands can come to the tops of the pelvis. Just see what you notice here. There might be a difference because we've only done the one side. All right, now usually everything unrolls, so we need to roll it back up again before we proceed to the other side. So we'll roll, but we will send the legs out the other way so that we can lay over our roll. Again, taking it right on top of that hip bone. You might poke it a bit and see if you can find the position that best suits you for that roll. Now, if the roll is feeling too much, even if it's a rolled towel, you feel like it's kind of soft, you can always unroll it. So it doesn't have to be that high. I could take it down a little bit. Let's do that this time on this side. So then it's not as much of a arc that's happening over top of the roll. All right, staying with our forearm and our hand for a second, just noticing as gravity starts to let us gently drop into the mat, how that feels. And then slowly lowering yourself down. Head with the bottom arm. Top arm can just land on top. And here we are again in this side lying position. Again, notice if you want to roll forward. See if you can stay right on your side and begin to breathe into the side that's pressing into your rolled towel or your rolled foam mat. Nicely done. Taking your transition slowly, we'll lift up maybe just to the forearm to begin with. Take a little pause. You saw how I dropped my leg back. You could keep them still stacked, or the tendency could be to support as you come up. Drop the leg. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves all the way back up. Go ahead and hit that reset button. Come and lay down back onto your back. Letting yourself have a little pause and check in and see, what does it feel like now in your body? Right versus left, maybe front versus back, all about the center. After you've had this little reset, let us come up to a seated position, coming to sit on our bottoms. Maybe we want to sit on our heels. That is definitely an option. If this doesn't feel right for you, you can take that folded up towel and send it behind you. So you make a little seat for yourself and have a seat down on it instead. So you decide if that's too hard on your knees to come all the way down, you can sit. And of course, any seated position can be done in a different position. So you could do it in a chair, you could do it in a cross-legged position, but just because I thought, let's go here today. So from here, take your hands to the center. They're making a line down the midline of your body. So it helps us orientate where our head is in relationship to the torso, because the head will move independently from it. So bring the hands right to the center and just imagine that straight line coming right through your nose all the way down to your belly button. Sitting up nice and tall here. Take a deep breath in and fill those lungs up. And as you exhale, start to twist over to one side, trying to rotate from the lower belly, the mid belly, then the chest and the shoulders. No need to force anything at all. Notice if your chin is over top of those fingers still. And then we'll slowly come back to center to hit that reset. Nicely done. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to twist, noticing again, does the head want to do the twist for you? Or is the movement coming from the belly, right from the center, right from the front? You might even feel it coming from the sides as well, as those side abdominal muscles are helping us to contract and relax, to allow us to do this movement. Excellent. And then come all the way back to the center. All right, let's do that one more time. This time, focusing on where our head is, because I know it starts to drift. So this time, take the fingertips and place them right under the chin. So the chin actually has a little tiny tripod to hold it. Sitting up nice and tall, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly twist over to one side. And you may even notice that your range is a bit smaller here. I quite frankly can feel it in the back of my head, the way I want to, the direction I'm twisting. So I know that my head's like, I want to go. But no, I'm asking it to stay on my little tripod, holding it here, using the center to move me, not my head. Here we go. Look at that connection. I think I moved a little further. Relax through the shoulders. You just have to ask your body what it needs to do. So you just gently encourage it. The head, it's not its turn to move. It is time for the movement to occur right through the belly. Good. And then slowly come back to the center. Same thing applies going the other way. Let us try. Take a deep breath in. And then let it all out as we twist around to the other side. Again, trying to move from the middle. Lower belly, mid belly, rib cage, chest, shoulders, head relaxes. It's relaxed. It needs to stay where it is as we twist around our center. Notice what other sensations might show up. You might feel something through the lower body as well. So what we're doing is we're asking our center to do the job. There, slowly it might move a bit further and then come all the way back to the center. Nicely done. We've got 3 specific movements that are all about softening your center. We had the lying down side bends. Then we had ourselves lying over top of a rolled towel or foam pad. And then finally, we did some twisting and asking the rib cage to move in relationship to our pelvis without the head doing all the work. Let's take ourselves down one more time onto our backs just to feel out how that is in our body. Maybe you'll notice as we all land here how this feels. Maybe there's been a shift or change. Maybe you feel a bit more expansive through the center so that there's more room for the organs inside there, your lungs, your bowels, even your heart up in the chest area. Just begin to notice what shows up as you hit that reset button back to where we were when we began. Well, that's it for today. Another episode of Real Moves for Real Life, all about looking at our center and finding some spaciousness here, allowing some movement to occur there so that, those little aches and pains don't have to be there. We can teach our bodies to move the way they need to help minimize extra pain, extra discomfort. We don't need that. So take care of yourself with these movements and consider softening your core again another day. My name is Lisa Workman. This is Real Moves for Real Life, and I am here to support you on your physical activity journey. I'm here to help you move better so that you can move more often. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.